Welcome to Cliffhanger Reptiles, a breeder of genetically robust bearded dragons. I'm Blake McNeely. A year ago, we decided to start making bearded dragon-related YouTube content that would launch in January of 2021. And we did that. We made several YouTube videos. And then we kind of stopped making YouTube videos. So sorry. But guess what? We're back. Hopefully. So when we started making YouTube videos, we did it, obviously, as a business move to market our brand. And I realized that a lot of people don't understand exactly what we do. At Cliffhanger Reptiles, we're a bearded dragon breeder, and we work primarily with pet stores, meaning we supply high-end, genetically robust bearded dragons to pet stores. What's nice about this is there's a lot of high-end pet stores that are looking to get bearded dragons, which are a step up from PetSmart or Petco. You shouldn't buy your bearded dragon there, by the way. Just fair warning. But there's not a lot of breeders that produce and sell to these pet stores. Actually, there's not a lot of high-end breeders. Yet there's still a huge demand for these bearded dragons. Take me for example. When I got my first bearded dragon, I had no idea that you could buy them online and have them shipped to your house. So I went to a high-end pet store. And there's lots of people like that. That being said, our goal for 2021 was to grow our online business. We wanted to start selling dry goods, and we wanted to sell bearded dragons directly to the customer. But as with any plan, it didn't go exactly as we expected. Pet store demand went through the roof, and we realized that any more bearded dragons we produced needed to go directly to the pet stores. After all, we had relationships with them, and we needed to maintain those. That was our entire business model, up until this point. So a lot of people ask us why we don't consistently post on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, or consistently upload bearded dragons to our website. And the reason for that is, our website and selling bearded dragons directly to the customer has always been more of a hobby. Our business is working with pet stores, and we like that. But when we realized that we weren't going to be able to sell as many bearded dragons online, the time that we were putting into the YouTube videos wasn't making sense financially. And after all, we're a business. But recently I've been thinking, we bought all this equipment, and there's really not a one-stop shop for bearded dragon content on YouTube. Until today. That's right. We're back, baby. We want to continue this idea of making bearded dragon content, but we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to make it so that it doesn't take several days to produce each YouTube video. We're going to keep it simple and bring you the content that you want. And with these new YouTube videos, they're going to be lower maintenance. That's why you're in my home office right now. With that being said, we need your help. Drop some comments down below. Let us know what questions you have for us. What questions you have for breeders in general. We're happy to help. And there's been a bunch of comments on all of the videos we made in January, so we're going to answer those today. This first question comes from Kyle. Kyle says, I have a question. I have an adult bearded. I'm going to upgrade to a new PVC enclosure, 4 by 24 by 15. Now here's my problem. I will be using ceiling fixtures, so what bulb would be best for a height of 15 inches without limiting his climbing too much? I was thinking 2 40-watt nanos. So my first reaction to this is that 4 foot deep is actually super deep for a bearded dragon enclosure. The deepest enclosure we have is 2 feet. I've heard of certain breeders that are using 4 foot deep enclosures to house lots of babies, but it's a pain because 4 feet is really far to reach when you're cleaning the enclosure. But if you like that depth, go for it. 15 inches is plenty high for your enclosure. Most of our adult enclosures are over 16 inches. So I see what you're saying. But we do use enclosures that are 12 inches tall by 24 inches deep and 48 inches wide for babies and juveniles. So I understand the height you're working with there. Just like you said, we use 2 40-watt nano bulbs, and we have a divider down the middle. Of course, all of our enclosures are temperature controlled, so they're not getting too hot or they're not staying too cold. But as far as the distance from the ceiling, the nano bulb works perfectly. You also mentioned about your bearded dragon needing to climb. Bearded dragons are actually terrestrial lizards, meaning they're not going to do too much vertically. Of course, they'll climb if given the opportunity, but they don't definitely need climbing area. They need a slight basking spot to get the right temperature and be able to leave that temperature zone. Other than that, you should be good to go. Another question from Kyle, would 14% be too much at a height of 15 inches, or would 12% be safer? Kyle's talking about UVB bulbs. And would top mount UVB or wall mount be better? The bulb would be 24 inches long, maybe 36, not sure yet. As far as where to mount the bulb, you're going to want to mount the bulb on the top with a reflector so that the most UVB will go down. If you mount it on the side, especially with a reflector, your bearded dragon's not going to get all of the UVB they need. Of course, any UVB is better than none, but if you want to optimize the UVB, place the bulb on the ceiling with the reflector facing down. The reference of 12% or 14% is the type of bulb from Arcadia. Both of these bulbs will work well for bearded dragons, and in your scenario, you would be perfectly fine with a 12%, but a 14% would work too. Speaking of Arcadia comments, hey guys, great helpful video. Fantastic to hear you use and offer our brand. We love Arcadia bulbs. They're an amazing product. Unfortunately, we're not selling dry goods right now. Maybe we will again someday. I don't know. I don't have enough time. This next question comes from Big Al. I struggle with having vivariums stacked on top of each other where the top basking lights get dim because of the heat rising and the dragon can't bask. So I'm guessing you're talking about using temperature control in your enclosures. And we actually have this same problem. This is why we use several temperature control units. Working with several bearded dragon enclosures in one room, especially if they're stacked on top of each other or in rows, can be a real challenge. We have this issue too. Here's an example. At nighttime, you want your temperatures to drop below 75. If you can get close to 70, that's great. But in our bearded dragon room, temperatures are really warm all day long, so it takes a long time to cool the room down to get to that temperature. The way we fix this issue is by introducing a system of lots of fans that circulate the air in and out of the room, allowing cool air to be brought in and hot air to be pushed out. The biggest thing with these enclosures and heat rising to the top is to keep air circulating in the room. Now you have to do this in a way that doesn't get air circulation inside of the bearded dragon enclosures, because that can cause upper respiratory infections. In general, the top enclosures are going to be warmer than the bottom enclosures. But if you keep the air circulating in the room, you can get this to a sustainable level. This next question comes from Caro, who says, do you know if Phillips PAR38 halogen bulbs are good if they emit UVA? Does the UVB tube emit enough UVA? So your bearded dragon is going to require a heat source and a UVB bulb. The UVB bulb will put out all of the nutrients that the bearded dragon needs that it would naturally get from the sun. We recommend the Arcadia T5 14% UVB bulb. As far as the specific bulb you referenced, the heat bulb is going to be purely a heat source. It's true that some mercury vapor bulbs can serve both purposes, but the bulb you mentioned will do just fine as long as it is paired with a UVB bulb. The one and only comments, are you not selling anymore? We are still selling on our website, cliffhangerreptiles.com. Just inconsistently, because it's not our main form of business. But speaking of, we are retiring some holdbacks and proven breeders that you can find now on www.cliffhangerreptiles.com. That's all for us today. If you have further questions, please leave them in the comments below. We want to answer your questions. Or read more information at www.cliffhangerreptiles.com. If we helped you out, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more fantastic bearded dragon videos. Cliffhanger Reptiles TV is made possible by these great people. The bearded dragon of the week is a citrus tangerine male that's a cross between our Scarlet Fire and Orange Creamsicle line. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Stay frosty.